Changes, changes, change. Got to make sure I don't sing that because we could get demonetized.
Rafi's tips for artists because he loves you.
Hola, you amazing artists, and welcome back to the Media Studio. We are still currently working on the art studio, so I'm looking forward to, in the future, being able to film videos from our art studio about art. A lot of people have been sending in emails and asking about the changes and the way that we're going to approach things. Obviously, if you don't know, we moved and we basically upended our business and closed down our studio and have bought a new house and are trying to navigate doing repairs in a new house and also figuring out and opening up the different segments of our studio and our gallery. I finally have the opportunity to put my artwork up on the wall, which is freaking amazing. We've gone from a 700 square foot house to a much, much bigger house. I'm not even sure what the square footage is, but it's a lot. With all that square footage comes a lot of extra work, and with a new town comes a whole new perspective on putting yourself out there. You guys might be experiencing similar changes. You might be experiencing small changes. You might be just moving your studio from one room to the other.
You may have just purchased a washing machine that thinks it's smarter than you, and now you're angry, confused, and sitting around with dirty clothes.
We have a lovely washing machine now.
Yeah, it's
Our
dumb
own.
and it washes clothes when I tell it
Yeah,
to.
it doesn't think it's smarter than you. We have a dumb washing machine that loves washing clothes.
And I don't mean it's dumb, I just mean it's not a smart washer.
It's a dumb washer. We have a dumb washer.
I think it's great.
Either way, when you're dealing with changes, there is a perspective, a different mindset that you want to stay in because things could get out of whack. We've been going back and forth with the out of whackness while we navigate all this stuff in figuring out like, okay, how are we going to put ourselves out there? This is what we did before. Is that going to work? When we started originally in Pensacola and put ourselves out there, we started from the ground level. Nobody knew who we were. Now we're getting into a town. More people know who we are, but is that really going to change our approach on the way that we're putting ourselves out there and what we're going to do?
No. Yes? I don't know where I am.
When you're dealing with different changes in your life, like you do have to approach things differently because what you're used to using may not work anymore in the now. So we've gotten a lot of questions about this, and in all honesty, there is no answer. We don't really know. We're just kind of bumbling our way through this whole process. Neither one of us has ever owned a house, had to do big major repairs, been in a new town and we first started our adventure in our art career about a decade ago in a different town. So it's not like we've done this multiple times. But I would say that the one thing that stays the same is that we just kind of bumble through it. We just kind of go and we figure out and we fall on our face and we're not sure what we're doing. We just know that we're putting one foot in front of the other and going forward with all the things that are going on in our life. One of the things that we've always done is embrace change. That's the number one thing that I would say that is most important is understand that everything changes. Nothing stays the same. It doesn't matter if you move or if you stay in the same place forever. Nothing ever stays the same. Everything is always in flux. Everything is always changing. And being able to embrace that change really, really gives you an advantage when you are going into a new kind of thing, either a new project, new art career path, or something like that. Embracing change really, really helps.
And I guess that's all I have to say on that matter. Changes. Turn and face the strange. Changes.
Why are you so serious? One of the other things I would say is being aware of your excuses. We have all the excuses in the world. We make brilliant excuses on why I don't want to do this. It's not the right time. This isn't when I should do it. People are saying that I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready. Blah, 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 blah. You got to determine for yourself and recognize when something is an excuse that you're coming up with because maybe you're scared, maybe you think that you're not going to make it, and you want to put yourself out there, but you don't think that you can. These are all things you want to be aware of your excuses so you can determine whether or not you're putting something off because you're making an excuse or chances are you're just making an excuse. One of the other things is facing the I don't wanna phase. And my only solution to that, and it's one of the things that we've done, is we just fa-chunk things. Just 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, get it started, and give yourself the opportunity that if after 10 minutes or 15 minutes you just stop, if not, you just keep going. Chances are you're just going to keep going because you've already started working on this project. So anything that's like, I don't wanna, I'll just fa-chunk, Clee will just fa-chunk. And honestly, that is mostly how we get through most of the things that we have done. The other thing is to expect the unexpected.
Artnado 4!
Oh my goodness.
Artnado 4, Force of Nature!
Oh my. That's it, I'm done. I'm getting up. Basically, whenever there are any big changes happening in life, or even if life is just life, stuff happens. Understand that, like, if the shit hits the fan, that you've got this. That, you know what, I'm going to take a breather, I'm going to figure it out, or I'm going to just sit back and just bumble my way through this as well, because when life happens, when stuff happens, it could really throw a wrench into your plans if you have plans. And so you got to be flexible with those plans so that when it does happen, you could take a break, take a breather, and then move forward. The other thing, especially being in a new place, or even if you're in the old place that you're in, is jumping on new opportunities. Whenever an opportunity opens up where somebody says, hey, have you checked out this show? Hey, this business is looking for art to put up in there. Whenever you hear something that sounds like it is an opportunity, you may go through that thing where it's like, well, you're not ready, all the excuses that are going to come up. Just jump on them just to see what happens. Don't worry about getting it wrong. Just jump on any new opportunities that open up. And if there are no opportunities around you, then make your own. And that's the thing. Don't wait around for opportunities. If they're not showing up, just make your own. And then what you'll see is that it's almost like the floodgates will open up, where the more opportunities you create for yourself, the more opportunities you'll see out there. And I'm pretty sure that right now what you're saying is like, yeah, but I can't. And honestly, that's fear speaking. So that's the other thing that I would do is whenever you hear yourself that you can't do something or you don't know how, it only means that you're not trying, that you're not actually attempting to do it. There are a lot of things that in running a business, Clee and I did not know how to do it when we first started, and even stuff now that I don't know how to do, but it's definitely not going to stop me from approaching it and learning as I go to do this thing that I want to do. A lot of us want to get everything right and we want to get all the knowledge first before we attempt to do something. And in all honesty, you don't really learn anything until you put it into action, until you put it into effect. So you might as well teach yourself as you go. That's where what if I get it wrong comes in, right? That's a big part of it. Whenever there's new stuff or change or anything like that, what if I get it wrong? What if I try this new thing and I get it wrong? You got to be willing to accept failure, because it is a big part of it. Rejection and failure are a huge part of what we do. And the people that I've noticed, the artists that I've noticed that have created a successful career for themselves where they are supporting themselves with their art, they're the ones that have failed and been rejected the most. The other thing that we think about, and this kind of goes against the whole hustle mentality thing, is to give yourself a break when you need it. You want to make sure that you don't turn your creative career or the new changes that are taking place in your life or the things that maybe you're excited about, you don't want them to turn into something that is going to burn you out. So you do want to pace yourself. You do want to take one step at a time, but make sure that you're not throwing everything on your plate. We always want things to be like, go, go, go. I want it now. I want it now. I want it now. And really, like this is not a gimmick. This is a long-term plan. You are not just creating a career, you're creating a lifestyle, and that's something that you need to think about. Most importantly, what I would say is just have fun and connect with people. Go out to art events, go out to anything where there are creatives involved, whether it is music or anything like that, stuff that you enjoy doing. Go out to events, meet other artists, really get involved with the art creative part of the community, do things like that, get involved with creative groups online, get involved with stuff like that, put yourself out there. If you move to a new place, find out where these people are hanging out, find out what kind of events they're going to, what kind of things they're doing, and that way you can meet some like-minded people in your area and like-minded people online in different groups or forums or whatever it is. Wherever you meet people that are creative, chances are you're going to find somebody that really inspires you and you might be inspiring them.
Oh, and if there's one other change to embrace, change your socks daily.
Oh my God.
There's nothing worse than clammy feet. No matter what climate you're in. I thought that going from Florida to the north would change things for me on that end, but no, not really. Gotta wash and change the socks daily.
On your hobbit feet?
Yep.
If there's anything I could leave you with in this video, is that a lot of people go out and they try to look for opportunity. The thing to remember is that not only are you going to look for the opportunities that are around you, but you also have to consistently make your own opportunities in whichever area you are in. You have to make your own opportunities. Back when we first started in Pensacola, there weren't really many opportunities for us to put our artwork out there. So we decided to look at the flea market. We decided to look at different markets. Farmers market. We decided to look at any opportunity, any chance that there was where I could get my artwork or Clee's jewelry out in front of people where they can see it, where they could touch it, where they could experience the artwork. Because without that experience, I'm not putting myself out there. Nobody's going to know who I am. So I wasn't going to wait around for the galleries to approve of me before I showed my artwork. I was going to show my artwork, and as it turns out, the galleries ended up approving of me because I was showing my artwork. But when we started our career, we had several mantras. One of them was, I create my own opportunities. The other mantra, because a lot of artists in the area were kind of like ho-hum and would complain about the local economy and all that stuff. The other mantra was, I create my own economy. And to go with both of those was, I create my own way of doing things. I don't follow the cookie cutter status quo. I don't follow proven methods. If I'm following a proven method, everyone else is doing it. I might as well be competing with everyone else. I'm going to figure out how it is that I want to put myself out there. I'm going to figure out how I want to do this. I'm going to figure out how it is that I want to approach this. And then I'm going to go for it. And I might fail, I may not, but either way, I know that I'm going to keep going for it, and I'm going to persist through all the bull and just keep going, because that's ultimately what it takes. That's it. It's just that you put yourself out there and you keep going. Whether or not it's big changes in life or anything like that, as long as you keep moving forward, that's ultimately all that matters. So remember, whether or not you have big changes, little changes, or anything going on in your life, just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. If you fall, pick yourself back up. You've got this. It's just reminding yourself that you've got this. No one can stop you. No one can tell you no. No one can tell you that you can't move forward. They could say no to you. No, you can't be in my gallery. Is that going to stop you? No, you don't need to let that stop you. You could just keep moving forward and create your own opportunities. And that's it, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I am curious to know any time in your art career or in your life where you may have been told no and you decided that you were going to create your own opportunities, or that where there were changes and you said, you know what, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm really curious to know what those stories are. So go ahead and leave those in the comment section below.
I think that's it. It's time for me to wink out.
You okay?
Good day.
Wait, I didn't even say. You want to say goodbye?
Good day.
Oh my goodness. Let's try it again.
Are you going to ask me?
Oh. You want to say goodbye?
Good day.
And thank you so much for watching, you guys. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing. I totally adore you. If you like this and you want to watch more like this, just click right over here to subscribe. And that's it. I'll talk to you later. Adios.